My name is Eunice Song, and I am the Executive Director of the Korean American Coalition Los Angeles. In light of the persisting escalation in anti-Asian hate crimes and hate incidents that have been plaguing our community, we wanted to create a resource to help the community report. With me here today from the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office is Deputy City Attorney Daniel Lee, who is the neighborhood prosecutor that operates out of the Olympic Police Station, which includes Koreatown. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
In order to help the community better understand where your office prosecutes the hate crime versus the LA County DA's office, would you share what distinguishes the process?
Right, so within the city of Los Angeles, the district attorney's office prosecutes felony crimes. Our office prosecutes all misdemeanor crimes that happens within the city.
When helping community members over the course of the last couple of years, some of the frustrations were that some crimes were not prosecuted as hate crimes. So why are they not prosecuted as hate crimes?
So an hate crime allegation requires a specific intent, and we need to prove this beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a high standard. A lot of times we don't have enough information there to allege an hate crime allegation. That doesn't necessarily mean we won't charge the underlying criminal act, whether that be a battery or an assault. And that's why it's important for the community members when reporting these type of incidents to provide as much detail to the officer as they can.
One question that we often face from victims is that what kind of rights do they have throughout the process? Because it just doesn't end with simply reporting.
Right.
So could you shed some light on the process and what rights each victim has if they go forward with the prosecution of a hate crime?
There's something called Marcy's Law, which under our Constitution lists out the different rights a victim has, which include the right to be treated fairly, the right to be reasonably protected, the right to be notified of any court proceedings, and the right to restitution, which is any financial loss caused directly by the crime. And in our office, when we allege any type of crime of violence, not only hate crimes, we do notify the victims and witnesses of these rights so that they are aware of them.
Oh, thank you. It's really important to understand those rights, but the whole process could be a little bit overwhelming for the victim. Not only do they face this hate crime, but this whole process could be daunting. So could you share if your office has any support that they provide for the victims that go beyond the sharing of information?
Right. Within our office, we do have witness coordinators who are in constant contact with victims and witnesses. In addition to that, we have what we call the Victims Assistance Program, who victims and witnesses can also utilize in obtaining certain resources, whether that be financial compensation or in extreme cases, relocation, assistance with relocation. Within our courtroom system, we do have bailiffs on site. That's the law enforcement, the sheriffs that's stationed in each courtroom. In any crime of violence, we can always ask for stay-away orders or protective orders to the judge, which would order the defendant to have no contact and stay a certain distance away from victims and witnesses. And we also have victims assistance coordinators and witness coordinators who can be there physically with the victims and witnesses in court, just so that they don't feel like they're alone.
Okay, thank you. It's really important to know that they're supported throughout this difficult process. Does the Office of the City Attorney ever ask victims about their immigration status, and do they ever share this information with other government offices?
So we don't ask victims and witnesses what their immigration status is, nor does that status affect the outcome of the cases we handle. If we know what their immigration status is, we don't share that with any other government agency since it's not relevant to the cases that we prosecute.
One other barrier that our community faces to reporting is whether there's language accessibility. How does your office provide that kind of support for community members who are victims?
So within our office, we do have staff that speak numerous languages that can help with the interpretation. In the court system, the courts have certified language interpreters who can be requested to aid in the conversations our office or prosecutors have with the victims and witnesses when they are present in court.
Why is it so important for victims to report and stay with the process until the end?
So from the prosecutor's standpoint, one of the issues we always run into is gaining the cooperation of victims and witnesses. A lot of times we have victims and witnesses come forward and say, look, I reported to the cops. Why do I need to come to court? Why do I need to miss a day at work or find daycare for my children? But in reality, we do need that extra step to prove our case beyond a reasonable doubt, with the ultimate goal of holding the defendant accountable for their actions and keeping our community safe.
Thank you so much for your time today to share all this important information to help encourage our community to report. I really hope that it really lessens some of the hurdles and helps give the community some courage to report. It's really important, if you are a victim of a hate crime or hate incident, to come forward and report. Your voice matters, and this is but the first step on the road to healing. It's really important because not only is it an opportunity to hold the offender accountable, but it's also important because it helps prevent future potential crimes. We are here to assist you if you have any obstacles. The law enforcement, as well as the city attorney's office and prosecuting agencies, are here for you to be a resource and to guide you through the process. We thank you for your courage and for your willingness to stand with us against hate.